It's Saturday night in Sullivan County, Tennessee, and Deputy Abby Reimer is racing to stop a possible drug deal before it goes bad.
If there's drugs, you never know what else is involved. Recently, some drug deals have gone bad and actually resulted in kidnapping and, armed robbery. They've had a gun pulled on them, so you never know. Come back here. Sir, come back here. He took off running out back. Sheriff's office, come back! He's gonna be in that thicket. Sheriff's office! I'll go back through and go around on the other side. Stupid guy. There's his bag. Oh, mess. He's got a lot of drug paraphernalia in this bag. I'm gonna hang on to this. We'll go see if we can't find him. He took off directly behind this residence into this thicket. He's got to be bedded down in here. Where's he at? You have him, or is he over here on the thicket side?
We got one in custody.
They get their man, but he won't talk. So Deputy Reimer retraces his steps to look for evidence.
Afternoon jog. That how you weigh? Feel good? Feel horrible? You smoke? That'll do it to you.
If she can't find any, she won't have much of a case. Across town, Deputy Sam Matney is working a major drug case of his own, teaming up with the narcotics team to raid a suspected meth lab.
We're going to take a lot of precaution. If there's a meth lab, I don't know what kind of history this guy's got. I don't know if he's going to be violent, fight, flee. I don't know.
Meth labs can be death traps for law enforcement. The cocktail of combustible chemicals used to manufacture the drug can easily explode if handled improperly. With approximately 50 meth labs busted in Sullivan County each year, deputies can't be too careful. They secure a perimeter before approaching the trailer.
Good. Sheriff's office. Can you open the door for me, please? Hello.
How you doing?
You doing all right?
Yeah, I got my pajamas on.
Okay. Is anybody here with you? Hey, buddy. How are you? You Mr. Alexander? How you doing, buddy?
Armed with a warrant, Deputy Matney immediately takes his suspect into custody.
Everybody else in here? He's got wrist on him. I don't want nobody to get hurt. Is there anything in here? Might we look real quick?
But the suspect's wife claims she is innocent.
Why are you doing this to me? I'm not doing it.
She didn't do nothing.
She's getting out of here because of that stuff right there I asked you earlier. Was there anything meth related in here? You said, no. What am I finding?
Get your clothes on.
Be honest. Get your clothes on. I haven't here anything I need to be worried about. Because if we are, you're going to get in more trouble.
But the evidence inside the trailer tells a different story. The assortment of ingredients has the hallmark of a meth lab. Officers must remove the explosive elements before they can search the premises.
Get some damn clothes on.
Hey, guys, she's OCD and stuff.
It doesn't matter. She's got to listen to us.
Many of the chemicals used to cook meth can be deadly, particularly a form of ammonia gas that can kill you if you inhale too much. Officers must decontaminate everything inside the trailer, including the suspect and his wife.
Don't put them in a cruiser. Tell them to call out. We need a umpire. Yeah, I'm coming. We need to decontaminate the cruiser.
Officers wait for firefighters to hose the suspects down. On this night, Sullivan County deputies are dealing not only with drug busts, but robbery. Just across the border in Washington County, Deputy Brandon Shull is responding to a holdup at an adult novelty store. As the nearest officer to the scene, he's been called across the county line.
We have a customer with the subject went out the door. We're still getting a description, direction of travel.
Somebody at 6 has got somebody there with a gun on the floor trying to get more information. See if they get us a tag list.
Some of them are right now in a vehicle. She did show the weapon and made threats. However, no robbery did occur. Possibly driving a white cruiser.
The robber didn't get away with anything, but attempted robbery at gunpoint is still a crime.
Freaking amazing. Yeah, that's the vehicle right there. I got the gun in the floor.
The suspect apparently left his car and his gun outside the store and took off on foot.
He's got like 2 or 3 more bags, carrying oil bags in his car.
But that's not all he left behind.
There's your dope.
Yep. Crack cocaine.
Hey, you got crack?
The clerk inside reports the man fled around the backside of the store. So officers bring in a little extra help to hunt him down. Police dogs are trained to detect a fresh scent. They start by tracking disturbed soil and vegetation caused by a suspect's footsteps. And it looks like he's on the right track. 20 miles away, Deputy Matney and the Sullivan County Vice detectives continue dismantling the clandestine meth lab. They have the alleged cook in custody, but his wife claims she wasn't involved. Now comes the dangerous part. The undercover vice detectives must label and book all the meth materials into evidence. But the potentially deadly chemicals used to manufacture meth make this a hazardous waste site.
He had a 1-pot going earlier today. He told us he cooked. He said he cleaned out one of the 1-pots, which is probably that Powerade bottle right there. It's their choice, what they like to use. Also, he's got common fuel here. It's the main ingredient. Up here is the rest of the stuff we found. We got some Subutex, a Schedule 3 narcotic. We're supposed to have some more meth in that pink bag right there.
Only officers with special lab training can enter the trailer, and they must proceed cautiously, wearing gloves to protect themselves and taking care not to trigger a potential explosion.
Here's your,
Yeah.
she was in the closet.
They'll pull off so much of this and cut
Gas
it off.
generators.
Hook it up to one of those 2-liter bottles with a little hole in the top there in the cap.
1 glass pipe.
The officers uncover a wealth of meth paraphernalia, but nothing that links back to the female suspect. Until, that is, they find a detailed notebook.
Here's another ledger. Amanda box, Joe box, Jeremy 1 box.
That's what Smurf's in. That's who's smurfing.
She's the one that's keeping everything.
She's probably, well, she's got that one ledger right here showing everything that I cooked today.
There's some more in her ledgers. I guess we want that too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The officers believe the woman's involved in what's known as smurfing, a practice where consumers purchase their over-the-counter legal limit of pseudoephedrine-based products and then sell them to meth makers. After a complete search of the property, officers are ready to take another suspect into custody.
She had her chance. Now, I'm not going to violate your rights, but here's what I am going to tell you. You are under arrest. Put some bracelets on her. We're done.
Put your hands down there behind your back.
Upon a consent search of the house, we found a meth lab, and so we've contacted our meth lab techs. We've had to do a decontamination of both subjects, where we've contacted the fire department. It's pitiful out here in this cold weather. We've tried to do as quick as possible, get them back in warm clothes, warm environment, and then transport them on to the jail. 129. I want these files back for camera cut. I've got some heat rolling, man.
After the decontamination, authorities take both suspects to jail, where they'll charge them with possession and manufacturing of methamphetamine and related paraphernalia. Deputy Matney nails both his suspects, but Deputy Reimer's still trying to determine if the alleged dealer she has in custody was working alone.
I'm gonna run this 28 on this car and see who it's registered to. Oh, somebody's in it. Where'd you come from?
I've been sitting here waiting on my son.
It's the suspect's father.
S01E06 on this car and says it's registered too. Oh, somebody's in it. Where'd you come from?
Deputy Abby Reimer may have landed herself not one, but two suspected drug dealers.
I've been sitting waiting on my son. Come up and talk to us.
Who's your son?
Nathan, he stays up there with me.
You been in the car the whole time? So you seen us running after him?
I seen him take off. I didn't know who he was after.
You didn't see your son stand on the carport and be hollering at him?
He went in, supposed to.
You got your ID?
Yeah, he stays up there.
You been smoking pot? No? What you been smoking?
I'm smoking cigarettes. I got CDL license.
So this is your vehicle, right? Do you care if I look in it? Just lean up against this truck right here. They've been smoking something. It's not cigarettes. It don't really smell like marijuana smell, but it's some kind of, whether it's, bath salts or something to that effect, it's not the marijuana type smell. Got a glass pipe. 1986. Hid underneath the floorboard. Here we got a peel. Some kind of residue inside this bag. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it back where I found it. Right here's another smoking paraphernalia. It's laying right here. That's the main thing too, when you're searching, you don't want to just dig in because the syringes, that's the last thing you want to hit is a syringe. It's like a hunt for a treasure. They, broke this, of course, to snort pills. Oh, looky here. Oh, it's like treasures. Jewelry, wonder who it belongs to. I wasn't hoping for that, but it could be stolen from somewhere. It's a little odd that it was hiding back there.
While Deputy Reimer continues her search in Sullivan County, 70 miles east in Ashe County, North Carolina, Deputy Josh Hoppy Hopkins is serving a warrant to a woman he knows well.
We're going to pick up a girl on larceny charges. She's kind of one of our frequent flyers. She's been through the system quite a bit. One time I pulled up and she was on top of a guy in the middle of the road just frailing on his head, man. She's been tased 2 or 3 times. She can get rowdy. 120 County, about Highlander F-29s.
He meets up with Deputy James McNeil at the suspect's house.
I can hear her talking. Hello, Sheriff's Department, open the door. Yeah, that's her. Open the door! It's Jessica, that's her. Yeah, that's her. Jessica, open the door! She's in there talking, I hear her. Get ready to cuff her if she comes to the damn door. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door.
No, everything's fine.
Put your hands behind your back.
No, why?
Because you got a warrant. You know you do.
I don't have a warrant.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I promise you. I promise you I don't have a warrant. No.
All right, quit it now. Don't
Please. No, wait. No, don't hurt me. I promise you.
Put your hand
please don't hurt
behind
me.
your back.
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay, please don't take none of my...
Now.
Okay.
Put your hands
Yes,
behind
sir.
your back and shut up.
Okay.
Turn around.
Okay, let me get my wallet and identification before you take me out of here, please. Because I have some money if I need to pay bail. There shouldn't be a warrant.
Let's go.
It's fine. Yeah, if I need a warrant for... What is this? I called 911.
Why would you call 911?
God, I didn't know who the hell would be there.
I said the Sheriff's Department.
But I know you scared the out of me. I live
In.
Seriously.
In.
What's wrong?
Where's it at? She got open cut, and I'm actually very stressed right now because I think I touched her. Get out of the car.
I told you if it act like somebody, you'd be treated like
My
somebody.
God, I thought you were... Oh, my goodness. I'm not... Why can't you do my ankle? That's fine. I got...
That's not going to fit around your ankle.
Yes, it will. My ankles are small. I'm not going anywhere. Please. Oh, my goodness. But ask Chris if he can hurry because he can get to a vehicle and come up here if you ask him and post it. Ask Chris what that fat boy's nickname is.
He's trying to help you.
You're regretted, you fat. God damn it, wait till he gets up here. God damn! It's not funny! And my dad's dead, and my daughter just committed suicide. I should get fired for that. How could I have
Guess we'll be seeing you.
Back in Washington County, Tennessee, the K-9 unit is still on the hunt for the man accused of attempting to rob an adult novelty store at gunpoint. The scent leads to a nearby junkyard full of places to hide. Officers proceed cautiously.
Clear. Yeah, that's where we came in at, right here. Also in that woods right there, he showed interest right there. We'll get straight there. Come. Here.
Suddenly, the K-9 picks up a new trail that leads them straight to a nearby trailer park.
Yep.
Sullivan County Deputy Brandon Shull and the Washington County K-9 unit are hunting down an accused armed robber.
Yep. Wait up, Harris. Hold on.
They think they have him cornered.
Walking back. Walking back. Walking backward. Stop. Take 2 steps to your left. Get back in your house. Keep walking back. Keep walking back. Keep walking back. Put your hands behind your back. Relax. You got anything on you? Where you live at?
Right here.
What kind of vehicle you drive? Right here. Okay. Where'd you come from?
It was right here. It's right here at my house.
You just came home?
Yes, sir. Actually, I didn't even leave my house.
Okay.
I saw the lights. We walked up there.
Walked up where?
I walked right up there to the trash cans. The dumpsters up there.
Okay. We got an armed robbery up here, and the dog tracked to you.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir.
Turned out that he wasn't the bad guy. It was him and his mother were just overlooking the scene because they saw a bunch of flashing lights and sirens, and they seen the police getting guns out. So listen, tracked you, seen you outside. That's why you're here in handcuffs, okay? Thank you for your cooperation, okay?
After a thorough search, the dog loses the trail. For Deputy Shull, his work is over. He heads back to his home jurisdiction and leaves the attempted robbery in the hands of the Washington County officers.
Yeah, it's not every day you get a response to an armed robbery at a store like this, so kind of unique.
Over in neighboring Sullivan County, Officer Abby Reimer continues searching the car of the suspected father-son drug dealers.
Got this knife wide open right here, laid out. Keep it.
She also finds some potentially incriminating receipts.
But these are the best thing in the world. And whatever they can use, like the track number on, they can pull it up. We can track as far as, the stuff they'll buy, the different ingredients to make methamphetamines, like the cold packs, anything like that. That's evidence you can use against them for methamphetamine. People don't pull prescription labels off prescriptions unless they put something illegal in them. Whatever was in it, who knows? Hey, Sarge, you want me to go ahead and have him hook him? We got a pill right here, a glass pipe.
Oh, yeah, we're taking Dad, too.
A lot of drug paraphernalia where the father was sitting, so far we got the son and the father are most definitely going to be arrested. Let's look in that book bag. You want to look in it? That's what Nathan dropped.
Yes, I do. His bag's at.
Nathan, yeah, just waiting for surgery right quick.
Wonder, is this part of his treatment? No, don't touch them. Here. Actually, just have a seat.
Yeah, don't want surgery.
Have a seat for me on that log or something.
The bag's littered with drug-related paraphernalia, including signs of the latest drug to hit Sullivan County, gravel, a mix of bath salts, methamphetamines, and occasionally rat poisoning.
It's just residue right now. With all that, the glass pipes, the rubber band looking thing, it's all used to smoke gravel. About what I figured was going to be in there.
I ain't got a lid on it either.
Yeah. Close it up.
Yeah.
What we got? Is Vice coming, or are we taking this, or
We'll take the dope charges.
But do we have any actual dope in this paraphernalia?
Oh, we got dope.
We do?
Well, it's residue.
I think that's enough, don't you, though, for that little bag? Go ahead and do it, and if it...
You can charge them with the class, whatever.
The pill, whatever pill is it.
But but that was on the dad's seat, so you need to charge Dad with that. Whatever's on this side, you need to charge Dad with.
Go ahead and turn around, put your hands on your back. How much money you got on you?
A little over 300, I think.
How come you carry much money on you?
I work.
Bobby, how come you carry it all on you?
Oh.
All right, come over and see for me. I'll get a bag and put your stuff in it.
Did you go to 196?
Right now, I'll take Dad up to Bundle Jail on charge of simple possession of drug paraphernalia. And it ain't over here. They'll be back. So.
But en route to jail, the suspect suddenly
Michael!
passes out. Deputy Abby Reimer is taking an arrested drug suspect to Sullivan County Jail.
Michael!
When she suddenly notices he's passed out in the back.
You don't hear me yelling at you? Sit up. Stay sitting up for me. All right? Stay sitting up. You want to stop and check on him to make sure he's got a heartbeat, pulse, whatever. If not, then you want to, have to get EMS en route to. It turns into a whole different situation.
After a long 12-hour shift,
Just hang out right there for me.
Deputy Reimer heads home for some well-deserved rest. She'll need it because tomorrow is a big day in Sullivan County. Fugitive Apprehension Day.
Good morning.
One day a month, deputies devote their time to trying to find and arrest Sullivan County's most wanted.
Today, the fugitive apprehension team's out. It looks like we have 5 or 6 cars out, and the only thing we're going to be doing pretty much throughout the day is serving arrest warrants, or attempting to serve arrest warrants as many as we can.
The hours of this detail from 6 to 4. We're going to be operating on Channel 3. Everybody be careful. Be back up here at 4 o'clock.
It's a competition of sorts. The deputy who brings in the most fugitives wins.
I have not had my coffee.
At least bragging rights.
Should be pretty eventful. Sun's coming up. This job's actually fun. It's dangerous, but it's fun, especially serving warrants. You'll get people that hide in houses, get closets, hide in their kids' room. And sometimes people try to throw you off.
Sergeant Hyde's first warrant this morning is for a probation violation. Officers must take extreme caution when approaching a residence. So Deputy Gary Kressel provides backup.
Sheriff's office. How you doing?
He used to live here before I lived here. I can still get his mail and everything.
So he's not even in apartment buildings anymore?
No.
You know where he's at?
No, I have no idea. No idea.
All righty. Well, we'll get out of here.
Strike one for Hyde. It's on to the next warrant.
We're batting 1,000.
No doubt.
Sergeant Tracy Cottrell and Deputy Roy Harrison hope to have better luck across town.
Sheriff's office, come to the door, please. Hello, how are you? Are you Dina?
Yes, what are you doing?
I have a warrant for your arrest for violation of probation.
Oh my God, there was not a warrant on that.
That's a warrant.
Please, Caroline, can I get my clothes on?
Yes, I won't turn my back, but I can't let you close the door.
Here's my purse, I'm not taking it.
You gonna leave your purse here?
Yes, definitely leave my purse here. I want to brush my hair. I was going to brush my teeth.
Well, you need to hurry. No, shoes, and that's it.
1 out of 2 isn't bad. But Deputy Reimer hopes to up the ante.
Try 901.
Sheriff's office! Thank you all.
Got him. Reimer's 1 for 1. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Sergeant Hyde is still looking for his first.
Hello. Is here?
No.
Do you know her? Well, this warrant's pretty much done. I've never had this hard of a time picking people up on warrants.
As the day progresses, Deputy Reimer is on a roll. For Sergeant Cottrell, it's slow going.
I want to wear a bra.
Are you living out of this stuff?
No, it's just laundry. I would like to put a bra on. This is stuff.
Just put a jacket on. It's cold, and your shoes.
Okay.
And
Well, I've got
we gotta go. What are you doing now?
I've got to put some lipstick on.
To go to jail?
Well, I mean, it's bad enough to go, but to have to go looking like hell.
Turn around and sit sideways. Probably more comfortable.
Well, thank you. You're polite.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, we'll try to get you up there as quickly as possible.
All right. Just where I want to go.
By 3 p.m., fugitive apprehension day is almost over, and Sergeant Height has a problem. He hasn't served any warrants. He's hoping he can round up at least one fugitive before day's end.
Donald Ray. Try that door, Gary. I believe that's one he uses. Knock on that one. In the window.
Suddenly, Height spots someone peeking through the blinds.
Sheriff's office. We seen you looking. Open the door or we will.
Sheriff's office. If you come to the door, we sing you look.
But they can't make an arrest unless they can positively ID their fugitive.
He's not open up. He's in there.
But Height's not giving up.
We're being sneaky. Sometimes, and it's a long shot, you'll get one that just goes stupid and flakes out and we come knock on the house. And they'll, after we leave, they'll walk out.
Bingo.
There he is.
It's Fugitive Apprehension Day in Sullivan County, and Sergeant Height is still trying to serve his first warrant.
There he is.
He finally gets lucky.
Yes, ma'am. Who else is here?
Nobody. I'm just here by myself.
You're here by yourself? Nobody else here? You mind we look inside? If he's here, tell me so I know somebody else is here because I just left and they were peeking out at me.
Yeah, well, he's trying to take care of it.
Okay. Is he getting guns or anything?
No, we don't have
He's not going to make me shoot him?
No.
Okay.
No, making me nervous.
Just, you're not in any trouble. And he wouldn't be either if he just come to the honking door.
Come on,
Here. Okay, where's your shoes at? No?
Right here, yeah.
Well, hang on right here. Just stay right here with me, okay? Because I've had bad experience in the past this. Just stand here with my man. Got anything on you? No. All right. Put your hands behind your back for me. You're new to this, ain't you? You're not supposed to peek out the window when the police knock on your door.
I'm not sure.
Thank you. But at least we finally picked somebody up for the day. Makes me smile.
Fugitive Apprehension Day is finally over.
Long day. What do we bring in? 24, yeah. That was just from the fugitive team. That don't include what come in from court or any other agency.
Wasn't bad. Wasn't a complete loss. It put a lot of warrants where they needed to be, not new addresses and attempts. It wasn't a bad day, Well, that does it for us.
Well, almost.
Handcuffs are really tight.
I'll tell you what I'll do. If you promise not to whoop me, I'll turn around and put them in the front for you.
Is that too tight?
Yeah.
It is?
I mean, no, it's fine. Yeah, but kind of it is. It's disturbing.
I know you're giving me a hard time. How's that?
That's wonderful. Thank you.
70 miles east in Ashe County, Deputy Joe Francis is after his own potential fugitive.
I got a call of suspicious vehicle at an abandoned house. We're going to check it out. They could be in there stealing stuff out of it, or maybe making meth in the old abandoned house and just using it as a cookhouse.
Sergeant Daryl McClure joins him on scene.
You see where something walking through here? Tracks. Sheriff's office. Hello? Check this room right here. He's been walking on that.
Thieves have stripped the house of everything valuable, even the piping.
See right there where they pulled the line, cut the copper? They couldn't get out. They cut what they could. They tore all the walls. Right here, they tore the copper out. They tore all the walls out, cut the copper out already.
Must have fallen debris. Fall through something.
Like somebody. You sure anybody hiding in here? That's nothing. The house. They're the top floor better than the bottom floor. There's been a lot of foot traffic in here. You see we've been pulling in and out. Well, got buckets of electricity. I don't know. Possibility somebody's in the woods. I've been here before, the same way.
This man been here too?
No, they haven't been here. Doors are locked. Exhaust is cold. All right. It looks like it's been here a while because the exhaust is cold on it and the hood's, there ain't no heat on it either. So, like I said, they may just have car problems pulled over here. They could be in there trying to strip the copper out of it, the wiring and stuff, because it looks like some tools and stuff in the back. They go in there, just use it as a place to get high and leave. Or they could be selling the drugs out of it. When they saw us, they may take off hid in the woods or something, waiting for us to leave, and they're going to take off. So I may hang up down here at the bottom of the road for a minute just to see if this vehicle does come out after we leave. And that way I have a reason to stop it, because there ain't nowhere else you could go up here other than hiding in the woods.
Ashe County, North Carolina, and Sullivan County, Tennessee are tight-knit communities. Many residents here grow up together and often maintain their closeness through worship. 120 churches are located in Ashe County. In Sullivan County, over half the population is affiliated with a religious congregation. Protecting the 175 churches in Sullivan from crime is a daunting task. For Deputy Sam Madney, it's personal.
I'm partial to churches. My dad's a pastor, so I always like to check, make sure nobody's messing with churches. I'm going to check his church real fast, just make sure nobody's up here. It grates under my skin that somebody would vandalize or break into a church. Why?
What the heck we got going on here?
Whoa. He notices a person running from a car and stops the driver.
Hello. Is everything okay?
Yes, we was talking to that girl over there.
Okay.
Everything's fine. My babysitter, I was just paying her.
You got any ID on you or anything? How you doing, sir? Do you have any ID, sir? Okay. Yeah, we've had some problems over the past.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Anybody on probation, pro for anything?
I am.
You are? What's your pro for?
Possession of marijuana.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is just document y'all's information, so give me just a second. I'll be right back with you, okay? What we'll basically do is just check their information real quick. I'm just going to make sure that nobody's got any warrants for their arrest or anything like that. Okay. He's not being honest about his background. We don't have a warrant that we're showing, but definitely everything's turning up a little bit suspicious now.
What the heck we got going on here? Whoa.
Sullivan County Deputy Sam Madney just pulled over a suspicious car in a church parking lot.
You got any ID on you or anything? How you doing, sir?
And one of the passengers has a history.
He's not being honest about his background. Definitely everything's turning up a little bit suspicious now.
Zero radio clear.
Go ahead.
You've entered NCIC as a potentially violent sex offender. Angela Cannon has been suspended. She's clear. Teresa Smith has been suspended. She's clear.
10-4.
The man in the back seat could be armed and dangerous. Madney calls for backup.
Subject in the back's got a violent history.
Found dinner.
Can you come here and talk to me just for a second? Are you Miss Cannon? Can you come here and talk to me just for a second? Do you know your license is suspended?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you're suspended. What you do is try and put your hands behind your back, okay?
When are you going to arrest me?
Yes, ma'am.
How long do I have to stay in jail?
Do what?
How long
Till in the morning. You'll get to see a judge in the morning. What was going on with the girl when I pulled in?
I don't know.
You don't
She
know?
I don't know.
Hey, that Mr. Pope in the back. Has he got anything on him?
No. If they had something, I'll tell you.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I just need to know. I don't want any surprises. I don't want any needles stuck in me or anything like
No,
that.
I don't even do stuff
What about
like that.
guns?
No.
Any guns?
No,
Anybody got any pills or anything?
No.
A little bit of dope?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. Can you come out here just for a second, bud? Is there anything on you I need to know about?
No.
What I want you to do is just turn around, put your interlace your hands on the back of your head. You're not under arrest. I'm just going to pat you down, okay? Is there anything in the car I need to know about, bud? Not that you know of. And what I want you to do is just have a seat with you back up against the wall for me, please, okay? Thank you. All right, man, come on out for me, please. What was you talking to her about? Shoot me straight, because I'm not stupid.
Oh,
I've
really?
been
She's my
witness.
babysitter.
Okay.
She's babysitting my kids.
You know, why did she take off walking so fast when I pulled in?
I have no idea. Just cause, I don't know.
Okay.
Deputy Madney believes there is more to the story and searches the vehicle.
Jesus. Teresa, is this yours?
Yeah.
This is?
Yeah.
Okay. What's up with the needles?
Hey, they're my brother's just diabetic. He's half blind.
Your brother's a diabetic and you're carrying his needles?
Yeah, I picked him up for him and I don't have a way down there. My car's busted.
Madney's not buying it, but he needs hard evidence of drug abuse to make an arrest.
Do me a favor if you don't care real quick.
Yeah.
Can you pull your shirt sleeve up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, other arm.
I haven't used it in a long time.
Those, how many times, when's the last time you used on that arm?
I haven't.
You've got, look.
It's scarred up.
Hold your fingers out like that.
It's all scars, lady.
Okay. These are fresh right here. Who'd you say this lady was over here that y'all was talking to?
Kayla, she's my babysitter.
Kayla? And you don't know her last name?
No, I really don't.
I've got a young, and I think if anybody came in my house, I'd know their last name.
Well, honey, I didn't know her
And
last
I
name.
probably would know.
I just can't think of it right now.
I would know where they took a dump last, too. You know, I mean, that's just me. Wait, take your hat off. I'm going to take a picture real quick. You don't have to smile.
Without hard evidence, Matney can't arrest either for drug use. But he documents the event in case deputies run into them again.
All right, we're getting ready to go, okay? I'm going to seatbelt you in.
Strange, they had needles and they got suspended license. Ain't no justice system left.
Okay, well, if that's how you feel. Didn't really have enough to charge the passenger tonight. However, I believe that there was more going on than what anybody is going to admit. Something definitely was not right. What kind of bothers me is the fact that not only is somebody conducting that kind of business, but they're doing it in a church parking lot. Come on, really? Now that speaks volumes about somebody's values.